Hello everyone, welcome back to Daily Puzzle. Today we have this middle game. It is black to move. As you can see, black is a piece down, which means that black has sacrificed a piece to expose the king in the center, and so far black's pieces are quite active. The rook is scanning the king as well as the queen, and knight on b4 is quite tricky, threatening some checks. But the queen on a5 is hanging, so we have to be a bit careful. We cannot play moves like queen to c7 because this is quite slow, as now white can just avoid all the threats that black is creating. For instance, a threat is knight to c2 to win the rook, and we can play queen to c3, guard c2 square, and also attack the knight on b4. Black will remain this knight on b4 with a5, but we can still push this knight to go away with the pawn, and the moment knight leaves the b4 square, now we are okay to castle on the long side, and this is big advantage for white, almost winning position because white has extra piece. So we have to come back at the starting position and check out something better. We can give a check. Well, we can give a double check, in fact. If we simply give a check, for instance, knight to c6, we're gonna lose a queen and also the game. So we need to give a double check, and this is knight to c2 or knight to d3. Let's start with knight to c2 because this is also a fork. Now white has only moved king to d1, and we don't have more checks with the knight. We have to give a check with the queen, queen to e1. At this point, the knight on c2 is not protected, so white will capture this knight, and black has bishop to f5 move, which is another check, another piece in the attack, and this should be fine as white is drawing out from the moves. However, white has a lot of extra materials, and white can actually give up the queen here for the bishop for the moment. So if black recaptures the queen back, then we can take the queen, and this is too many extra pieces for white, 3 extra pieces for white, completely winning position. So instead of taking this queen, black has here a very smart move, and this is rook to e2. So the idea is that if you capture this rook, I'll capture with the queen, and now my queen is at the safe spot. I'm giving you a check, and next I'm gonna capture the queen, and this is very good position for white. However, after rook takes e2, now white has the only move and the craziest move which keeps the advantage on the board, and this is king to d3. Truly insane move, as both queens now are hanging on f5 and e1, and the rook is also hanging, and the king is on d3, and there are 2 extra pieces for white. So this is totally mess here on the board. However, slowly we're gonna clean up a little bit the board. So now what black can do is simply capture the queen, and now we can take the queen as well. And here we have this position when white is finally able to develop all the pieces, and at this point white has huge advantage, 2 pieces versus rook, and very bad pawn structure for black. This is 90%, even 98% winning position for white, and yeah, this is definitely very nice, but we don't like that, so we need to find something better than knight c2. We do have knight d3, another double check. When we give a double check, it means that our opponent has to move the king away, because you can't cover this check with a knight, for instance, because our knight then gives a check too, and we cannot capture this knight then because queen is also giving a check. So this is a double check, and here white has only moved to play king to d1. In this case, let's check out what happens if we give a check. King goes on c2, only move, and now we need to find a check because our queen is hanging. We can't capture the rook. Knight is protecting this rook, and we do have a check on the board. Knight to b4, in fact, is a checkmate because queen controls the first rank as well as these 2 squares, and knight controls d3 square and gives a check. So this is a checkmate and the solution of our daily puzzle today. Let's start from the beginning and check out what happened. So out of all these candidate moves, what we had, knight d3 is indeed the best, and it is in fact checkmate in just 3 moves. I hope you guys have spotted. Please do let me know in the comment section if you did so, and congratulations, this one was really complicated. This has been Woman Grandmaster Katie Tazalash. You can check out my social media platforms as well as my Twitch account, and I'll see you later in the week. Bye!